Okay, so today I'm going to install some new fog lights on this very dirty 2005 Range Rover Sport. So what I'm going to be doing is removing this fascia piece here, popping out the unit itself with the light bulbs, and then installing what is hopefully going to be a set of LED lights that have the ability to change color. So these particular LED bulbs, they're not specifically intended to be fog lights, but they do have the correct H11 connector on here, and we see that we have the LED bulb itself is comprised of two LEDs on this side, two LEDs on that side, and the two different LEDs are actually different colors. So one of them is a yellow color, and one of them is a whiter color, and then you can combine the two together by turning them both on. And so this is supposed to give you 6,000, which it describes 6,000 Kelvin, which it describes as white light. 3,000, which is for fog conditions, so 3,000 Kelvin, which is going to be a yellow light, and then 4,300 Kelvins, which is supposed to be described here as white gold light. So we're going to actually see if that's the case. These temperatures don't actually correspond to the descriptions that they give. 6,000 Kelvin should actually be quite blue, and 43 should be very white, so there shouldn't really be much in the way of yellow in 4,300 Kelvins. So if you're wondering, the actual description of the color here in terms of a temperature actually relates to, it's based on astronomy. So you know that stars in the sky, they're not all the same color, and so astronomers actually use this color scale to describe the age and temperature and color that a star's light emits. So the higher number is going to be for stars that are emitting whiter and blue light, and then for stars that are emitting more yellow-red light, there would be a lower number corresponding to a lower temperature. So these units are in Kelvins, which is a unit of temperature. So physics lesson over. We're going to try and install these bulbs right now. So I'm going to start off by removing the fascia here. So I've got a little pry tool. I should be able to pop this off. Okay, and then there should be a couple of hex keys. So I'm going to go and get my hex key tool. I'm going to be right back. Probably going to need a little bit more light on the subject, and then let's see if I can remove these this unit. Okay, so I was incorrect when I said it's a hex key. It's actually a torque bit. So they're kind of those security bolts. One thing I've got to try to do is make sure I don't drop the screws inside the bumper, as that would be a bad idea. Okay, so there's actually 3 of them, and I found that one of them I was going to have a hard time because this isn't quite long enough, and although it is a torque key, I can actually get it out with a hex key. This is a 3mm hex key. So 3mm hex key isn't quite the right tool for the job, but in this particular case, it's going to work just fine. So since this is the last one, I'm going to try and remove the whole thing. Okay, so I've got the whole unit out. Okay, so pop. Should be a case of just twisting and popping out the old bulb. There we go. There's actually nothing wrong with these bulbs. They just don't match the lights of the car. So these light bulbs are kind of yellowish light, white yellow, and it doesn't really match the headlight unit. And the reason I specifically chose these LEDs is because I wanted to match the temperature color. So that's how I ended up looking up the temperature color and finding out that the stock lights are supposed to be 4300 Kelvin. And that's supposed to produce a very nice white light. You can change them for a more blue light, as I mentioned, like 6000 Kelvin. But I'm just going to stick with the stock HID headlight bulbs. Oh, okay, so I just realized what I'm missing here. So there's a little catch inside here. I'm just going to pop that. Oh, hey, look how easy it is when you do it right. So I'm going to try and carefully connect this in, and these are supposed to be the right ones, so hopefully they are. It actually looks like there is only one way round these connections can go, so there shouldn't be a possibility of me putting this in wrong. Doesn't quite feel as firm as the old one did, but we're going to give that a try. So I'm going to actually leave this in here, and then we can see what kind of color we get out of this. Okay, so as you can see, these guys are pretty bright, so hopefully I won't be dazzling anybody. But hopefully we also have got a color temperature that matches. If it doesn't, I have the ability to change the color. So apparently how you change the color in these, you'll notice they didn't come with any instructions at all, or at least if there is instructions, they're hidden away somewhere. Let me just check underneath. No instructions. So apparently how you're supposed to change the color temperature is by turning the lights off and then back on again. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go and flick the headlights. Okay, so we've definitely got our yellow lights there, so I think that's a pretty cool feature. So this one definitely must be corresponding to the 3000 Kelvin. Not quite sure what we had before, whether that was the 4300 or the 6000, so I'm going to switch it again and we'll see if we get more white or more blue. So this would appear to be the temperature that they're claiming to be 4300, because this is actually using the combination of the blue and the yellow. So I think I figured out what they've done here. They've got a white, the 6000 Kelvin, the 3000 Kelvin, and then when they're both on together, that gives you the mix. So that's the in-between. Looking at that, I don't believe it actually is 4300 Kelvin, because this is if this is 4300 Kelvin, which is supposed to be the stock temperature of the HID headlights for this car, then that is definitely not the same color. That's obviously more yellow light. But I do like the fact that I can change between the two. I'm probably going to stick with what they call the 6000 Kelvin, because I think it matches the color of the lights the best. But under foggy conditions, I'm going to use the yellow, and all I have to do in order to switch between the different color temperatures is to use the fog light switch. You pull the switch out to turn those lights on. If you push it in to turn it off and then pull it out again, it cycles through. So it's cycling through these color temperatures. We started off with the 6000. We then ended up with the yellow light, and then the third one in the list appears to be the one that's right in the middle. Just so that you can compare, we should be able to take a look at the other side. This is actually the stock headlight. So the stock fog light. So you might see that the stock fog light is definitely more of a white yellow light. So that's pretty standard for conventional light bulbs. The new LED is probably brighter, but it's actually about the same temperature as the original fog lights. That's not what I'm going for here. I'm going for the more blue light. So hopefully you found this video useful, and if anyone has any questions, please post them on the video. Thanks.